death and hell being cast into the lake of fire. That's what the Jehovah's Witnesses teach. It's not true. Because look at Revelation 21. See, the answers are all in the Bible. The Bible defines itself. Revelation 21:8 says that the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars, people think that they're good enough to go to heaven, even if you just lie. He says that's enough to send you to hell. Of course, if you're saved, though, it's all forgiven, and it's all washed away. But if you're not saved, even lying will send you to hell. He said all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone. Watch this, which is the second death. So what is the second death? According to that verse, the lake of fire, the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone is the second death. So now with that in mind, go back to verse 14 of chapter 20. It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. What's the this referring to? The lake of fire is the second death. So what is the first death? Go to Ezekiel chapter 31. Ezekiel 31. And I realize I'm going down a little bit deep tonight, but you know what? I'm sick of shallow preaching. I get sick of it. You know what I mean? Just this little feel-good, shallow, easy, and then if you really want to learn the Bible, you got to go to some Bible college somewhere. In the local church, the Bible says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that they profiting may appear to all. The Bible teaches we should be reading the Bible in the house of God and getting doctrine and learning the truth and teaching and edifying the saints. It's important for us to know what the Bible really teaches about death. And the Bible talks about the second death, and it's a place.
Keep playing it. I like it.
We saw it in Revelation 21:8. We saw it in Revelation 20:14. Look at the place, death, in Ezekiel 31:14. It says, to the end that none of all the trees by the water exalt themselves for their height, neither shoot up their top among the thick boughs, neither the trees stand up in their height, all that drink water. You say, what are we talking about, trees and water? Well, if you read the whole chapter, we're not going to read it for the sake of time, but in the whole chapter, he's referring to these great kings of the earth as trees. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, he calls him a tree. The king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, remember he was the great tree that all the fowl of the air and all the creatures of the earth lodged in the branches thereof? Trees are metaphors for these great kings that he's referring to. Read the whole chapter and it'll make perfect sense to you. But talking about these men, these kings, look what he says. For they are all delivered unto death. Come. He's going to restate or explain what that means to be delivered unto death. To the nether parts of the earth, in the midst of the children of men, with them that go down where? To the pit. So we see that this place is described in 3 different ways. First of all, it's described as death. Right? The second thing it's described as is the nether parts of the earth. What does nether mean? Lower. Nether is just an old word for lower. So he says that they are delivered unto death. He says they are delivered to the lower parts of the earth. And he says that they are down in the pit. All referring to the same place, the place that the Bible calls over and over again hell. And in Ezekiel chapter 31 he calls it hell. A few verses later he calls the pit hell. The bottomless pit, hell. You see, hell is located in the lower parts of the earth. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that hell is in the heart of the earth. Now, you don't have to be a science expert to have seen how many images there are of the cross-section of the earth. And you see the crust around the earth. And the crust is so thin. Let's picture the earth like an apple, if you will. The skin of the apple, in proportion to the rest of the apple, is pretty thin, isn't it? Just got a little thin red layer of skin, and then the rest is all the white meat of the apple, and then you have the core of the apple. And the word core means heart. Well, that skin of the apple, if the earth, if we were to make a scale image of the earth, the exact apple, the crust would be much, much thinner.